Many of you probably already know the background of this teaching of Jesus, but for those of you who don't, it might be helpful. It's a practice in Israel that still goes on among the Bedouins. And sheep herders were the main occupation in Israel in Jesus' time. Shepherds were not held in very high esteem, however. A lot of them were considered kind of lowlifes. That's why one of the great joys at Christmas time, the first people to get the news are the shepherds. But the way it works is at night, each little group, each little flock would gather in one place, and they'd set up a temporary corral, what we would call a corral, with one gate and one person left to guard the gate so that the sheep would be safe for the night, and you wouldn't have the wild beasts and the wolves and the creatures that would come after the sheep if they were left alone and unguarded at night. So at night, all the little flocks are brought in together. All these flocks are mixed up together. But each shepherd has his own particular call, his own particular whistle or voice. And he would go outside the gate and he would give that call or that whistle, and the sheep that knew him, that recognized him, would leave the flock and follow him. And then he would lead them out that day into wherever they could find pasture. And as far as I could observe, there's very little of it. So when Jesus uses people, that my sheep recognize my voice, that's the experience of the people of Israel, the image he was drawing on. And he says the shepherd is concerned for the sheep, he even knows them by name. They recognize his voice. They don't some other shepherd that's not theirs, that doesn't care about them. They follow only the shepherd that they know, the one that takes care of them, the one that brings them to water and pasture and provides safety and assurance. And Jesus is saying, that's my role for you. Recognize my voice. Whatever herd you're in this world, recognize my voice and follow me out of the ways of this world. And I will lead you to refreshment. I will lead you to water. I will lead you to pasture. I will lead you to life. I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. I don't think that's the way people see Christianity. They see it as a lot of no's. Don't do this and don't do that and here's the commandments and shape up. And Jesus said, I didn't come to give you rules, I came to give you life. And if there are rules, they're just meant to guide you to find life. Real life, not phony life, not antiseptic life, life in me. One of the things that interesting follows from this, however, is in some ways we're all shepherds. And Jesus has made us all shepherds. Pope Francis uses the phrase that, I've been a priest for 54 years now. I'm shocked that the phrase never occurred to me. The most wonderful phrase that it sums up all that I've worked at for many years in priestly spirituality. And it is, the shepherd ought to smell like the sheep. The shepherd ought to smell like the sheep. You could say that's what priestly ministry is all about. And Francis is able to capture it in one phrase. But it's also true of everybody else. In some ways, we're all shepherds. Parents are shepherds of their children, shepherds of their grandchildren. Employers are shepherds of the people that they employ, people that work for us in any capacity are people that we are in some ways shepherding. How do we care for them? What's the quality of our care for them? Are we seeking life and ever more abundant life for them? So not only is it a pledge from Jesus to be our shepherd, it's also attached, be a shepherd like I am. Guide people like I am. Care for the people entrusted to you like I care for you. So Good Shepherd Sunday is primarily about how the Lord cares for us, but it is also give the grace that we've received to care for others after the heart and the mind of Jesus. We all are supposed to smell like the sheep.